10 News begins with breaking news.
The breaking news is at Sunset Cliffs. In just the past 10 minutes, lifeguards saved a man who fell off the cliffs onto the rocks below. You can see them pulling him up there. People have gathered on the cliffs to watch this rescue. This is at Sunset Cliffs Boulevard in Osprey. Lifeguards used a jet ski and ropes as well. It's still not clear yet how badly hurt that man is. We are making calls to get some more details, which we will pass along to you as soon as we get them. Now, we are learning more about the shooting in San Bernardino, where a man killed his estranged wife and an eight-year-old boy. I'm Virginia Cha.
And I'm Brian Shalonsky in for Jason Martinez. Police say Cedric Anderson shot special education teacher Karen Smith. The two boys who were standing behind her also shot. 8-year-old Jonathan Martinez died. San Bernardino officials are holding a news conference right now. Let's listen in.
He too has 3 adult children. All have been accounted for. Smith and Anderson had a relationship that spanned approximately 4 years. In January of this year, they did get married. They were married from January until March, where there were some marital problems that arose, and they separated in the middle of March. And Smith moved out of the residence at that time. Once she moved out, she had been staying with family, her adult children in both the city of Riverside as well as the city of Moreno Valley. A little bit on the gun in this case. The weapon used was a Smith & Wesson .357 revolver. There were 10 rounds that were fired. There was 1 reload. The gun holds 6 rounds. The only record we have on the gun is that it was originally sold in 1979 in the state of Michigan. We have no further history on it.
You've been listening live as San Bernardino's officials update a heartbroken community, giving new information on the background of the suspect and the weapon used in that elementary school shooting just a few days ago.
Yeah.
We'll have more information on this in future 10 News newscasts.
Yeah, we will continue to monitor this news conference and tell you what else they say. You may remember this disturbing surveillance video of a North County gas station attendant taking a vicious beating last September. Well, he took the stand today to testify against the man accused of throwing those punches. 10 News reporter Mary McKenzie was in court this morning. She joins us live from Vista. Mary, did the attendant have to watch the video in court?
Believe it or not, Virginia, he did watch the video. It made him emotional, and it was interesting, maybe because we have seen the attack now so many times. I actually found it harder to watch the minutes afterward as the victim simply lie helpless, unconscious on the ground until finally coming to and getting up to get help. Nabil Tafik is his name. He watched the video in court showing the brutal attack back in September. Frederick Cato is the defendant, accused of walking into the Chevron station where Tafik worked in San Marcos, throwing a sucker punch, then many more off camera before dragging Tafik to the ground and kicking him in the head before walking out of the store. Now, according to the prosecutor, although Tafik doesn't remember, he apparently complimented Cato's girlfriend, and that prompted the attack, an attack which left Tafik with lingering injuries and in constant pain.
First of all, I've lost my taste sense. I can't taste anything anymore. My hands are always shaky, and my right side of the face is, I don't feel it. It's paralyzed.
The judge set a trial date. This was just a preliminary hearing, so the trial date has been set for August. And if convicted, this would be Cato's 3rd strike, meaning he would spend the rest of his life in prison. We're live in Vista. Mary McKenzie, 10 News.
Tough to watch that victim in court. All right, thanks, Mary. New information now on the 16-year-old boy who disappeared while swimming off PB. He had survived the turmoil in Syria.
Yeah, 16-year-old Mohammed Al-Mustafa is a refugee who moved to El Cajon months ago to start a new life with his family. 10 News reporter Mimi Alcala is live in Mission Beach. Mimi, I know you sat down with his family.
Virginia, Brian, that's right. I just talked to them about an hour ago. They told me they just settled into their home in late January in El Cajon and that they were so happy to be here in the U.S. and escape that violence in Syria. They say that 16-year-old Mohammed was just trying to enjoy the beach with his friends.
كان مبسوط ومرتاح يعني.
I spoke with his father, Hussam al-Mustafa, who says Mohammed was just so happy to be here, a teenager full of life, always surrounded by friends and his 4 sisters. He also tells me Mohammed didn't know how to swim and told his parents he wouldn't go too far into the water. Lifeguards believe he was caught in the rip current Sunday. The water conditions were bad. Crews have been searching both Pacific and Mission Beach, where Mohammed was last seen, but no luck. His family members have also been searching every night here, hoping for any sign of the teen, but now they tell me they're trying to come to terms with the fact that this has become a recovery mission and Mohammed won't be coming home. So right now, crews actually have a few boats out here. They're using sonar equipment to search for Mohammed. If they do detect anything, they say that that's when they will start to send divers back in the water to look for him when the conditions are safe. We'll keep you updated with any new developments. For now, reporting live at Pacific Beach, Mimi Alcala, 10 News.
Oh, our hearts go out to his family. Thank you, Mimi. Happening now, Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is in Moscow after denouncing Russian support for Syria. This morning, he said Russia must choose between the U.S. and siding with Assad. He criticized Russia for not ensuring chemical weapons in Syria had been eliminated. He also said it's clear, quote, to all of us that the reign of the Assad family is coming to an end. Tillerson is also hoping to talk with President Putin about stability in Syria.
Now to an ABC News exclusive. We are hearing from the family of a Navy SEAL trainee who drowned during a pool exercise. The Navy won't file charges against the instructor. ABC's Amy Robach has the story.
It just makes us sick to our stomach.
Navy SEAL trainee James Derek Lovelace was in his first week of Elite SEAL training last May when he drowned during combat swimmer orientation, an exercise requiring trainees to tread water in full fatigues and boots while wearing a mask filled with water, similar to the drills seen in this video.
The Navy SEAL training is among the most dangerous and the most difficult of all of the services. The washout rate is around 80%.
At the time of Lovelace's death, the medical examiner ruled it a homicide by drowning, saying while some could consider his death an accident, the actions and inactions of the instructors and other individuals involved were excessive and directly contributed to the death.
Derek's fellow shipmates, a lot of them reached out. This certain instructor bullied Derek that day and took it too far. A lot of dunking. Just seemed like everything was focused on Derek in the pool that day.
Now, new documents obtained exclusively by ABC News detail the Navy's year-long investigation, providing eyewitness accounts from the day of Lovelace's death. Fellow trainees reporting the victim's face turned purple as he attempted to stay afloat while an instructor dunked him and put a lot of pressure on him, both verbal and physical. According to training regulations, dunking and holding a student underwater is strictly forbidden, but adverse conditions like yelling and splashing are permitted to create stress and high intensity.
The only way we can really figure out what went on is to file a lawsuit against the government and the instructor and take depositions and see what actually happened.
Overnight, the Navy telling ABC News it's determined Lovelace's death was not the result of a crime, but adding no loss of life in training is an acceptable loss. Words of little solace for Lovelace's family.
Derek deserved more than this. Derek deserved honor. All I want is this man behind bars. That's all I want.
Amy Robach reporting there on that year-long investigation. The Navy did respond to ABC News, saying that it tries to provide the most realistic and relevant training possible. It must effectively mitigate the risks of that training.
Happening now, the San Diego-based Carl Vinson strike group is headed to the Korean Peninsula under a threat. North Korea just issued a warning that there will be a nuclear response if the U.S. dares to strike. 10 News talk with Ron B., a foreign affairs expert from USD.
My take on it is that folks in North Korea saw what happened in Syria, and they're concerned that the Vinson may be coming to do the same sort of thing with its 2 missile carriers with it, and so they had to issue a warning.
B believes North Korea may also test missiles this Saturday to celebrate the birthday of leader Kim Jong-un's late grandfather. Meanwhile, U.S. and South Korean troops are holding drills off the Korean Peninsula. Those will continue through next week. North Korea says it views those drills as an act of aggression.
Happening today, a San Diego State legend will formally step down. Steve Fisher is set to announce his retirement. We first brought you word of the change yesterday on The Now. Fisher has led the SDSU men's basketball team for 18 years. He took teams to 8 NCAA tournaments and won the Mountain West 10 times. Fisher has one more year left on his contract, but he's 72 and he plans to retire. He's expected to be replaced by assistant coach Brian Dutcher. SDSU will hold a news conference this afternoon. That'll be at 1. We'll bring that to you in live streaming video on 10news.com and on our mobile app.